Hey, what's up guys? Jack and Matt here from the Toasty Bros, and today we got one that we think you guys will really love. This PC was actually a trade-in to PC Bros, which if you don't know is our PC selling business, and this guy said that he paid $9,000 for this computer back in 2014.
And I can believe it because look, there are 3 graphics cards in this thing, a 5960X and yeah, those 980 Ti's. I mean, yeah, this was a beast of a computer back in the day, but what can it do now? Well, we're about to find out, but first, a word from today's sponsor.
Today's video is brought to you by Teamgroup and their 2.5-inch Vulcan Z SSD, which comes in capacities of up to 2 terabytes, 3D NAND for optimal performance with solid read and write speeds of up to 500 megabytes per second, and a very awesome entry-level price for those building a budget gaming PC or looking for an affordable way to upgrade their storage to build out their game library. Teamgroup makes a wide range of awesome SSD and RAM products, so definitely check the link down below to learn more about the Vulcan Z SSD and pick one up today to build an awesome budget gaming rig. Special thanks again to Teamgroup for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into the video, shall we?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I actually have my phone out right here and I'm actually looking at our Trello document because I went through and basically added up all the prices on this computer because I kind of was curious. How much would it cost to build this now? How much would it have costed back then? So I had to do a lot of digging, and I mean a lot of digging because this came out in around 2014. The reason I know that is because this processor was brand new at the time, the i7 Extreme Edition, and these 980 Ti's had just came out. So everything kind of fits that era. I also looked up like the case, power supply, all this stuff was released right around the 2014 time. And the guy told me that he paid $9 grand plus. He said he doesn't remember the exact amount, but it was at least $9,000. And I think you guys were pretty astonished at like what the upcharge was and what the parts actually should have costed back then. So for the processor, which is hiding under this 120mm AIO right here.
It's a little suspicious.
Yeah, which is, I think, like leaking. I don't know, something weird is going on there. It's actually, oh, that's probably gonna have to replace that, but you know, for funsies, maybe we'll still turn it on. Hopefully we don't ruin this computer, because even though it's not expensive now, it still is fairly expensive. For $9 grand, this guy was able to get an i7 5960X 8-core 16 thread, which that was, you know, a pretty insane processor back then. He would have paid $1,059 for the actual retail package of that. Now the motherboard is a quite fancy board too, because while it has to have 3 full-size PCI lanes and everything that'll actually work with SLI, and so that was an MSI X99S Gaming 7 board, which surprisingly was only around $350. I thought it would have been like a hell of a lot more, but it really wasn't too bad. And now for the graphics cards, yeah, you heard us right earlier, 3 980 Ti's, which I have never actually personally gotten to see, so this is kind of a treat for me. But yeah, 3 980 Ti's and SLI, and so this thing would have been absolutely insane back then. Those cards, for all 3 of them, would have been around $2,400, give or take. Obviously, it all depends on like the market at the time and the brand and everything. And then the RAM is really astonishing because this is an 8x8 gig kit. It's DDR4 and it is 2800 megahertz. You gotta remember, DDR4 had just came out on this i7 platform. And so you were looking at $1,759 for 64 gigs. This was like one of the most expensive RAM kits you could get, and it's right there. So that's pretty cool. For the power supply, very astonishing unit, 1600 watts. And it's one of the LIPA or LEPA units. And that thing would have been around 329.99. Nowadays, like a, what, EVGA, like 1600 watt for 250-ish. So they really haven't came down much, but hey, they got rid of the ketchup and mustard, so that's nice. We also have 2 Samsung 850 EVO drives, which are right in here and here. And you know, you're probably thinking, okay, 850 drives, that would have, you know, like maybe 50 bucks, 70 bucks a piece for 1 terabyte. Well, back then, you're looking at around $500 to $600 per drive. I found some articles when they were talking about the drives released. So around 1,050 for those. This case was about 180 bucks. It's a LIPA Lynx and really nice case. I mean, it's basically like a full-size tower without a power supply basement. Back then, this would have been fairly expensive for sure for a case. I mean, Matt and I were building in DIY PC cases for 30 bucks at this time. And so when you count, like I said, for labor, Windows, cold cathodes, I gave it $400 for that, which that's pretty crazy to me because at PC Bros we charge like $100 to $200, actually not like $100 and to $150 for labor, parts, tax, like all that stuff. When I say parts, I mean shop supplies. So I gave him $400 to try to just be fair. And so the total I was able to get was around $7,529.97 after like tax and everything. And like I said, the guy said he paid like over $9 grand. I don't know what shipping costs were and everything. I don't know if there was any other cost that got added into it. I mean, it does have some other random stuff. Like I think there's a DVD burner up here, and who knows, that could, it is Blu-ray. So that could have been an extra like $200 or $300 back then. He's got some extra stuff up here. So, you know, who knows? But regardless, Matt and I, you know, in the past, we always told people stay away from pre-built companies because they used to charge insane amounts, especially like companies like Alienware, iBuyPower, and I guess CyberPower a little bit. It was not uncommon to see like $1,000 profit on a build like this, but obviously that's not the case anymore because the market's so competitive. Most of these companies are lucky to see like $100 to $400 on profit, so it's definitely a lot more modest now. Check out the, because we got 1600 watts, an insane freaking power adapter with some really thick gauge wire.
Do we say F it and plug it in, or do you want to get like paper towels and like put it over the graphics cards or something?
Yeah, maybe a microfiber. Yeah, and like just what I'll do is I'll put this. I'm scared. I mean, I don't see what it shouldn't hurt being on top of the graphics card. You know what's crazy? This power supply actually doesn't have an on-off switch, which is just so weird.
It has a strange smell. I can tell it's just, you know.
Oh, I can smell my fingers, dude. It's like it has like the antifreeze, like car antifreeze smell.
No.
No leakage?
No leakage.
There might not be a whole lot of pressure going through. I'm just waiting to see it just start. Yeah, we definitely need to
look
replace
at that cold cathode, baby.
Yeah, that is sketchy. Just looking at that.
That's
Oh yeah.
Can we boot looped?
Gosh, you can hear the liquid going through it, and I mean,
what's little left of it. So I guess what we're gonna do is, you want to swap that cooler, clean it up, and actually do game
cleaning it
on
up will definitely be fun. Getting to
Yes.
see how it looks after. So I'm gonna get a little bit of video of us dusting and see how she goes.
Let's go.
All right, well, we're looking pretty good out here. And actually, I'm surprised it cleaned up really well. So I think both of our giant fans are not working. I mean, look at this one. It's like, when I try to spin it, nothing. And Matt pointed out that like this thing is rusty, which is kind of weird to see. But, you know, regardless, I think what we're gonna do is, if we can fit a 240 up top, which it looks like we can, we'll do a V-True ARGB 240, and maybe we'll do a 3-pack of V-True ARGB fans, because I think our other front fan, this giant, is also not working. So this thing needs a little bit of rehab, but we'll get it fixed up, and I missed the spot.
You missed the spot.
All right, guys, we were playing Apex Legends, and we're on pretty much medium settings. You know, I'm gonna go high. I have faith in this computer, and we still don't really know at the moment if SLI is really working. It says it's enabled, but
it's supposed to be a supported game.
Clue. Yeah, no clue if it really is. So I'm like maxed. I mean like maxed. I'm even using more VRAM than it says we have. One GPU's at 98%, one's at like 20, and one's at 17. It seems like it's only one card. Definitely weird. It claims that Apex is a supported game, but I don't know if we're just not doing a setting right or what. We don't know a lot about SLI, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, we might not ever really figure out what needs to happen to make it work. So this might just basically be a 980 Ti mixed with the i7 Extreme Edition benchmark.
Really, the only thing is you have to have a game that's supported, go into the control panel, and as long as it's enabled, I mean, it should be working. And this is a supported title, so I don't know. We'll just play some games.
Oh.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Like how GPU 3 is the top one, so it goes like 3, 2, 1.
This guy is standing still. Oh, just watch this.
Oh!
Yeah. No way, how does that go so far? Oh my god, dude, I'm so stunned. This guy sucks!
Oh! Sucks! Oh my god, he's getting toxic again.
Uh-oh, is this guy besting me?
Oh! Ult! 70!
Oh, let's go! No way I missed that. We did it. Another clean sweep.
I mean, we could play the game. SLI didn't seem to be working, but we were able to play the game.
I mean, maxed out 1080p, and we got like 80 FPS pretty much the whole time. So 980 Ti alone is still a great card, even with this older hardware.
All right, guys, we ended up downloading another game. This is The Witcher 3, which is an older game, but that kind of proves our point here. There's not a lot of games that support SLI anymore, really, that matter. As you can see right here, this game is actually utilizing GPU 1 and GPU 3, 99% and 94%, but GPU 2 is nothing. So I remember back in the day, three-way SLI was kind of overrated because the third GPU sometimes would just never be used. So as you can see right here, that's exactly what's happening. And we're at 4K ultra settings, getting like 30 FPS. I might drop the resolution down. Actually, we'll drop the settings down a little bit. Even running dual GPUs on this game at 4K, it just doesn't work. I remember 4K gaming back when the 900 series was out. You needed SLI to actually get a playable experience. Trying to get to 60 FPS at 4K was very difficult. It's much more attainable now, but in this game, you're really struggling here, getting only 30 or so FPS. So I kind of just wanted to run around and show you guys, well, the SLI is actually working, but we're only using 2 of the GPUs, and that's kind of the point here, is this thing is not going to be great nowadays. You really shouldn't do SLI nowadays, especially because there's just really not a whole lot of support unless you're playing The Witcher 3. Really, the main benefit is for content creators and people who want more GPU horsepower in their system for things like rendering, and that's what this thing was good for. So just for the giggles, I'm going to drop the, let's see, can I drop the, yeah, let's drop graphics. We'll go down to we'll go low settings and hit apply. All right, so we're at low settings, 4K, and we're getting close to 60. This is much smoother. The GPU 3 is still 100%, 99% basically, and the other one is at 81%. So yeah, I mean, it's playable, and if you were playing The Witcher 3 when it came out at 4K, this was probably absolutely amazing. Getting close to 60 FPS in this beautiful game, but yeah, nowadays it isn't nearly as impressive. But what we're gonna go ahead and do, because we pretty much ran our SLI test and showed that it does work and it kind of works for gaming, is I'm gonna run Cinebench just to show you guys what the 5960X can still do, because that's a very powerful CPU. And then we're gonna play one more game, which is Battlefield, because it's another demanding game, and just kind of see what the 980 Ti can do with the 5960X. And Jackson's probably gonna want to snipe for a long time. So let's switch to that. All right, guys, we're gonna run Cinebench R20 here just to test that 5960X, because it is an 8-core 16-threaded CPU that used to be like $1,000 back in the day. So just kind of interested to see how it compares to some modern CPUs out there. So we're gonna go ahead and let this run, and I'm curious to see right here, there's a comparison of the Ryzen 7 1700X. I wanna see if it comes in or below that number. If it goes above it, that'd be pretty cool, but I have a feeling it might be pretty close to something like that, and considering the CPU is close to first gen Ryzen, it's really crazy to see how far consumer desktops have come, because this was considered high-end desktop back in the day and used a lot of features that normal consumers or just gamers wouldn't really care about. So we're gonna let this run and then see what kind of numbers we get. All right, guys, so we ended up with a score of 3001, which is less than a Ryzen 7 1700X, a first-gen Ryzen CPU. Crazy to see how much Ryzen really changed the CPU space, in all honesty. So pretty cool to see that. Now we're gonna let Jackson play his new favorite game, Battlefield 5, for a little bit.
All right, guys, we're playing Battlefield 5, and we're getting right into this big old conquest, and we're on basically 1080p low settings and looking pretty good. I mean, getting close to 144 frames per second to get that high refresh rate we want, although I'm playing on a 60 Hz monitor, so severe disadvantage.
You are the chosen one. Oh.
There we go. We killed Zimmy Z. Is that Zach on his ult?
Probably. Oh,
let's go, dude. My screen shook so hard I didn't think I was gonna hit that.
Oh, dang!
That's an enemy, right? If you don't see anything above it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Is it still there? Oh, no, I missed.
There's a lot of them. Headshot, baby.
Oh, that's an enemy. Oh, dude, I hit
70.
him. He has no health.
Oh, nice.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. I'm squad spawning. I'm inside of a tank, but I don't want to be in it. I've decided I'm my own person. Oh, that was actually pretty good, Matt. There's a double kill. Oh, that's an enemy. Okay, well, there goes the last life.
And there goes the benchmark run.
Alright guys, so we just got done benchmarking this triple GPU gaming PC, and while sadly the most that we got to really see out of this thing was 2 GPUs being used in The Witcher at 4K, and hey, it did really well, but other than that, you basically just got an i7 Extreme paired with a 980 Ti benchmarks, which some of you have probably already seen before, so it definitely sucks that we don't really get to utilize these multiple graphics cards nowadays. Although if you are into rendering, which is what this was originally for, so you make videos, you do any kind of like 3D software and stuff like that, this would still be a really cool rig, and the fact that you can probably get this for under $1,000 yourself is not a bad deal.
So yeah, if you want to check out this PC over at PC Bros, where it most likely will end up, check out PCBros.tech in the link down below. Really no affiliate links for this one. We might leave some eBay searches for like the 980 Ti, which does go at a pretty decent price for a budget gaming PC nowadays, so check those links down below. But yeah, very excited that we got to take a look at this piece of history. It was pretty cool to see how it still performs in 2022.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
So as Matt said, this PC right here will actually be for sale at PCBros.tech, and on top of that, we always are buying and selling computers, so we typically have anywhere from 20 to 40 PCs on our website at any given time.
PCBros.tech, you buy gaming PCs, gaming laptops, and so much more. Use code ToastyBros2 on checkout to save 2%. See you guys later. Goodbye.
Peace out.